we've got an intriguing Big Ten showdown on Saturday morning as the high-scoring USC Trojans travel to take on a reeling Illinois team that is in desperate need of a bounce-back win. Will it be the Trojans that get a crucial road win and improve to 5-0, or will Illinois save their season? That's what we're here to break down today. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. So glad you could join us. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below. That includes our website, thegridironexpert.com, home to those expert picks, which are some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country. We're beating out over 80% of the national handicappers this year, have done so each of the last 6 years, hitting over 58% of our spread picks this year. You do not want to miss out on those. Again, the link for that down in the description below over on thegridironexpert.com. All right, let's get into this. I'm really excited for this. This is going to be a really fun game to start our morning with. USC has gotten off to a hot start under Lincoln Riley, as expected. 2 cupcake teams to start the year, then winning at Purdue, taking care of business against Michigan State. Illinois got that win on the road against Duke, and so, okay, they had a top 10 ranking, and then just got annihilated last week against Indiana, 63-10. And plummeted in the rankings. It's number 21 USC. It's number 23 Illinois. Plummeted in the rankings following that bad loss to the Hoosiers. And it makes you wonder, is Indiana just that good, or is Illinois maybe overrated? Are they that bad? This is a big game for Brett Bielema's squad to try to desperately bounce back for a team that had playoff aspirations after winning 10 games last year. But on the flip side, USC, which has somewhat struggled on the road under Lincoln Riley, would love to get a ranked road win in conference play, improve to 3-0 in conference play, and prove to the nation that they are a legitimate college football playoff title, or college football playoff and Big Ten title contender. So let's get into it. Start on the offense. We'll start with USC. We said the high-octane, the high-scoring USC offense. That's exactly what they are. They are third in the nation in total offense, averaging 583.8 yards per game, 52.5 points per game this season, 331.5 passing yards per game, 252.3 rushing yards per game. So this is not a team that just solely relies on throwing the ball. They can run it extremely well also. They have a great offensive line, got a great defensive line, which we'll touch on here in a little bit. But, of course, the star of the show, Jaden Mayava, over 1,200 passing yards already this year, 9 touchdowns, no picks. He's as good as they come. USC is scoring at will with him. Deep balls, extremely accurate, taking great care of the football. It's a fun offense to watch. 4 different players have at least 100 reception yards already on the year, led, of course, by Mekhi Lemon, who has 438 yards. 3 different players have at least 100 rushing yards on the year, led by Wayman Jordan, who has 443 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. You want to know how good this USC team is? They played 4 games. And again, I know they haven't been against the best opponents per se, but only 4 games, and they've punted the ball 5 times. That's it. Only 5 times. I think the majority of those came against Georgia Southern, a game they still won by 39 points or something like that. This USC team is just that good. They're efficient. They're aggressive. They're not scared to go for it on 4th down. The biggest key for them, especially in a road game like this, an early road game as this, is to make sure they don't beat themselves. Because there's been some things that, while USC has won all the games they've been in and won them convincingly, they've made some mistakes, right? They had a crucial fumble against Michigan State that allowed the Spartans to get back in it and make that game a little interesting late in the 3rd quarter, early in the 4th quarter, right? They missed a field goal against Purdue and struggled to get in the end zone against Purdue. They were held to 4 field goals against the Boilermakers. Could not get in the end zone there. They had a fumble against Missouri State back in the season opener. So ball security is key. Converting in the red zone is going to be key, especially against a team like Illinois on the road. For the Fighting Illini, this is a veteran offense, no doubt about it, but obviously much slower and not nearly as electric as USC's, right? They mustered just 161 yards of offense against Indiana. Even in blowouts like that, when you see 63-10 or something, it's like, okay, the team probably still put up 300 yards, just couldn't get in the end zone, had some turnovers, whatever it was. No, they just were that bad against the Hoosiers' defense. They mustered just 2 rushing yards on the day against the Hoosiers. They had, 7 3-and-outs against Indiana, so just could not get any sort of sustainable drives going. And again, credit to Indiana's defense for this, but maybe also not good for Illinois' offense. Maybe show what they were not capable of. They're 101st in the nation. 101st in the nation with 344.5 yards per game. That's it. They're only mustering 124 rushing yards per game, which is low for a Brett Bielema-led team. Luke Altmaier has still played well, has yet to turn the ball over 800 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, no picks. Caden Fagan has over 240 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Hank Beaty's been fine at wide receiver. We mentioned him last week when we broke down the Indiana game, saying that's been Altmaier's go-to guy. What was Indiana going to do to contain him? They did contain him, held him to 2 receptions for 13 yards. That's it. So Illinois, if you look throughout the year, they beat up on the cupcake teams they were supposed to, but they did struggle a little bit offensively against Duke. They benefited a lot from turnovers in that one, and then struggled mightily against Indiana. You can't help but wonder, what are they going to do against USC? Because we know if this game somehow turned into a shootout, Illinois can't keep up. They just can't. They can't keep up against USC if it turns into a shootout. The strategy for Brett Bielema's squad needs to be come out there, maybe not go 3 and out as often, get some long, methodical drives that will give your defense a rest and will keep that USC offense off the field. The longer USC's offense is off the field, the better chance you have of winning this game. And so that's the strategy if I'm Illinois. Keep Mayava and the offense off the field. Take up a 6-7 minute long drive. Make sure you score off of it. Limit the amount of possessions USC is going to have, and you've got a shot to win. The defense for USC, will they allow that? That's the million-dollar question. Certainly not as good as Indiana's defense, right? USC's defense not as good as Indiana's defense, but they're not too far off, right? They're giving up just 323 yards per game. They only allowed 92.8 rushing yards per game, which is meaning that Luke Altmaier might have to deliver in this game. This might be a game where, Illinois is going to, I think they're going to have more than 2 rushing yards this week. But I don't think they're going to go for 125, 130, something like that. I think USC is going to contain that fairly well. Meaning Luke Altmaier is going to have to find a way to find Hank Beatty and someone else, because you got to find someone else other than just your number one guy, to move the ball down the field and get it in the end zone. But here's an interesting stat for you. We talked about that defensive line, how good it was. USC leads the nation in sacks right now. USC has 16 sacks on the season. They are 4th in the nation in tackles for losses. All right? You want to know who number 1 is? Number 1 team in tackles for a loss? That's Indiana. The same Indiana team that last week against Illinois had 7 sacks and 10 tackles for a loss. That's not good if you're Illinois. You just got destroyed against that Indiana front 7, and now USC's got one that can match it. Maybe it could be even better. The Fighting Illini have allowed 16 sacks on the season. USC has 16. They gave up 7 sacks to Indiana. They gave up 4 sacks and 10 tackles for a loss to Duke in a 45-19 win, one that we'll touch on here in a second. The offensive line is not good. That is shown in the rushing numbers, not as strong for a Brett Bielema-led team, and it's strong from the protection. USC, if I'm Lincoln Riley, I'm sending the house almost all day at Luke Altmaier. You will get them into 2nd, 3rd long situations. You will force him into mistakes. They're not going to run the ball that effectively against you, so go after the quarterback as much as possible. You let up a big pass play here and there, okay, no big deal. But watch the film against Duke. Watch the film against Indiana. If you're USC, you're watching that and you're replicating it, because clearly Illinois doesn't know how to stop it. That pass rush is going to be a massive issue for this Illinois offensive line. Illinois, this was supposed to be a strong veteran defense. It has not been the case. 346 yards per game is what they're giving up, which is not bad. 212 passing yards per game is not bad, but that's the key number, right? That's the key number, because, the numbers can get skewed against cupcake teams. They've played 2 teams of note. Duke in week 2, Indiana last week. They allowed 356 passing yards to Duke. 356 passing yards to Duke. They allowed 267 passing yards to Indiana, 312 rushing yards. We're not even talking about that. 267 passing yards to Indiana. And the only reason that Illinois beat Duke was because of turnovers. Duke didn't know how to hold on to the football. 5 turnovers for the Blue Devils led to 28 Illinois points. 2 of those turnovers came in the 4th quarter, a 4th quarter that they entered only leading by 9. Illinois was only beating Duke 28-19. They capitalized off some turnovers in the 4th quarter, pulled away to win 45-19. The offense for Illinois is not going to be able to keep up with USC's. It's just not. The defense clearly has some issues against good offenses. Torch against Darian Mensah and Duke, torched against Kurt Cignetti's Indiana offense. The only way Illinois finds themselves in this game is to force turnovers against USC. We've seen that a couple times already, more so from fumbles. Mayava hasn't committed an interception, but USC has struggled to get in the edge zone. Really, it's turnovers and field goals, right? If you're Illinois, you are saying, we got to find a way to get some takeaways, and we got to find a way that if USC gets down the field, making sure that they don't find the end zone, that they're held to the field. I think that happened on the opening drive or so last week against Michigan State, where USC got really close to scoring, got the drive stalled, the offense stalled, and they were held to a field goal. That's how Illinois wins. Turnovers and maybe a bend, but don't break mentality defensively. So this game, I think, might be a little bit closer than people think. I think people are going to be very high on USC, rightfully so. People are going to be very down on Illinois, rightfully so. But this is one of those classic games where you see a team get beat that bad, return home, and then play lights out football, play way better than anybody expected. Illinois, I think, will play better than people think. No doubt about that. And I will tell you right now, I actually picked Illinois to win this game in the preseason. Back in our preseason predictions, I picked Illinois to win this game. The million-dollar question is, am I going to stick with that pick now? The answer is no. Fight on, USC. The Trojans are winning this game. I think they're going to win it by at least a touchdown, maybe even at least 10 points. But regardless, they're going to win this game. They're going to look good doing it. And they're going to improve to 5-0, a big-time ranked road win within conference play. Lincoln Riley's squad is legit. 5-0 for the Trojans, and they should be viewed as a legitimate Big Ten title and a legitimate college football playoff contender. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube, taking USC to win this ranked Big Ten showdown on Saturday morning. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, check out everything down in the description below. That includes our website, thegridironexpert.com, home to our expert picks, which are some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country. Make sure to take advantage of those. The link for it down in the description below. Again, over on thegridironexpert.com. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.